personal. This will be a part of the video. All right. So, a viewer kind of noticed something that I was doing and kind of commented about it, and I kind of feel like, you know, maybe I need to address it, because I know if one person noticed, there's got to be other people that noticed. So I want to explain. Well, let me just jump to it. When I caught the swarm in the video, this last video that I made, I had 2 deep hives, and the swarm was, I mean, it was a decent size. It wasn't no monster swarm, but I went ahead and drove them into those 2 boxes. Sometimes I put stuff together and do things, and I don't explain completely what I'm doing, and I guess it probably leaves some people thinking, what's he doing? And that's fine. I mean, everybody does their own thing, and nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect, and we all make mistakes. And you know, I appreciate when somebody comments and calls me out on things, because if it's something that I'm doing and I don't know, or I don't notice that it looks that way to somebody, and I don't address it, then it's going to be other people that question why I do what I do. So what I did was I put that swarm in 2 deep boxes. And the reason I grabbed 2 deep boxes is, one, that's what I like to run, is 2 deeps. So I kind of like to put the bees in 2 deeps and leave them be, and they can kind of do their thing, and I don't have to disturb them a whole lot. I will take the cover off and kind of check on their, you know, what they're doing. But another reason I put them in the 2 deeps is because all of the comb, all of the foundation or frames were completely drawn out. And some people probably wonder, well, what's that matter? Well, a swarm is geared up to go. They're ramped up to go. They want to make a home, and they want to hurry up and get things going. I mean, you figure they ain't got much time, okay? So from the get-go, they're designed to, when they find their home, they have the resources to draw their comb out and get to going. So I took a step away from them. By giving them full comb, they don't have to build or draw any comb out. So that's one less step they got to deal with. So all of their resources that they brought with them, they can now pack in the hive. And that's what I kind of want to explain, why I did what I did. So if you got this drawn out frame, they don't have to build. They don't have to put no wax into it. Right now we are in a nectar flow, or honey flow, or whatever you want. Some people call it a honey flow, some people call it nectar flow. Yeah, I think it'll work out either way, no matter what you call it. But when they're in this time of year and it's nectar's flowing and they're bringing honey in, it don't take no time to fill out a frame with honey. And if you fill out a frame with honey, what's the queen gonna do? She don't have nowhere to lay. So with them already being ramped up, ready to go, and I took a step away from them, and now all they got to do is try to gather nectar and make honey. And my 2 deeps are left for that queen to kind of pick and choose where she wants to lay, and more than likely she'll probably lay in the middle and work her way down if they fill it up with honey. And but it gives them options, and it also gives me options. I have a lot of brood frames that are deeps, the deep frames, and if I have other weak hives, or if I need a queen in a hive, or if I need to grab a frame of eggs and larvae to make, say, queens or whatever, by doing that box the way I did it, it gives me options. So if I want to grab some eggs, I can. If I want to grab a frame after she's laid it up and put all that work into it and put it in another hive and try to ramp them up, I can do that too. If I have a hive that has went queenless and I want them to make a queen, I can put a frame of eggs and larvae in that box hive, and they can draw it out. So I wouldn't necessarily have to leave the two deeps on top of one another. A lot of times I put a deep and a medium, and that's usually a decent sized swarm, but I'll put a deep and a medium. And my mentor taught me that. Paul's a good guy, and he taught me a lot. I think he was wondering about me at the beginning, but everybody does things different, and you kind of got to figure out how you want to go about it, and around your schedule and everything. And it kind of works out good for me to do things a little different sometimes. And I don't know if my way of thinking is always the right way of thinking, but it seems to work out. And I think that's what matters at the end of the day, is that it works out. But I do appreciate somebody commenting, and I appreciate when somebody calls me out on stuff, because it gives me the ability to address it and kind of explain why I did what I did. With the honey flow, nectar flow going on like it is right now, those bees are going to fill those frames up very fast. The queen is geared to lay eggs, and she's going to lay a lot of eggs really fast. With the amount of bees that I caught, it's a lot of frames that are going to be covered. If they put honey in the top half, if they start bringing honey in and they working her down, it's not going to take any time for her to fill up the eggs, and it's enough bees in that hive to cover that brood and keep it warm. So I'm not really that worried about it. I think it'll be fine. Wax moths are not really an issue right now. I have not found any right now going rampant through my stuff. Everything looks good. Hive beetles is not really an issue right now. Everything looks pretty good as far as that goes, and I think everything will be just fine. Like I said, everybody's got their own way of doing things, and I encourage everybody to do things kind of more the way they want to do it, and you will find a groove and how you want to do it. I like to run a medium or super, and then a deep, and then another super. So when the time of year comes to rotate, I don't have to rotate a whole deep. I'll take the honey super and rotate it for the top one, so I don't have as much heavy lifting. As you get older and you worry about hurting something, you kind of learn how to work things around that, and I feel that it's easier to do. Some people might not like that. Some people run all supers, some people run all deeps, and everybody's got their own way of doing things, and I think that's good. But my main purpose of that video was to educate people on how easy it is to catch a swarm. Can you catch a swarm on frames that have not been drawn out? You can, but you need to have drawn out frames beside your empty frames, and I don't mean putting a super beside a deep. If you have a deep that's empty, you need something on each side so they will draw out straight. You can take new foundation and fill that whole box full of new foundation. Sometimes they'll stay, sometimes they'll go. It's just what they're geared to do. Sometimes you just can't make them stay, and that's just kind of on them. They'll decide on what they want to do. If you give them a good place and you give them enough room, the worst thing to do is not give them enough room, because if you don't give them enough, they're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. They're not going to stay there because they're looking for a good size home, and it's usually the size of a deep. And 10 frame deep is usually what will seem to keep them. And I'm not saying that's the only thing that works. I'm just saying that usually seems to work pretty good for me. But I'm getting sidetracked. My main purpose of my video was to teach people how easy it was to catch a swarm, and to encourage people to try to catch them. I'm not encouraging people to climb on ladders and go up high in trees or anything like that, but I'm saying you can set a hive, box, swarm trap, whatever you want to call it, in a tree so high, and you can catch bees. You can catch wild swarms, and that is very good when it comes to saving money. Or you can take a box and catch swarms out of trees or fence rows, or wherever you might find them, and it's going to save you a lot of money. Sometimes it's really fun, sometimes it's just a real pain in you. It's just a pain, and I sometimes really enjoy it, especially if, like, my bee yard, if I'm running low in bees and I need to ramp it up. Hey, 4, 5, 6 calls of swarms, and it's going to make a good impact on my apiary. I mean, of course, you have the situations where you might get a drone layer, working layer, and that hive might be an issue, but you get a lot of good free bees that way, and I encourage people to do that. Now, I'm not saying don't buy bees, because there's a lot of good places out there that sells bees, package bees, and it's good stock, good quality stuff. Barnyard Bees is really a good place to go, and you need to check David Hall out. He knows a lot of good stuff. I like him. He's a good friend of mine, and he's very educational. But it's not always putting a lot of money into something to make it work. Beekeeping could be expensive, or it could be not so expensive. It just depends on, how fancy you want to go with it, or, how easy you want to make it on yourself as far as making equipment or putting stuff together. I don't know if I want to say I like punishing myself, but I like making stuff. I made this frame from scratch, like many of them I do, and it takes time, but it's rewarding that you've done it yourself. But I just wanted to address that and explain why I did what I did, because I know it's probably other people out there that probably seen it and was wondering why I did it the way I did. So I think I'm gonna get off here. I got a few things I got to do, but I just want to explain that, and I hope I cleared that up a little bit. If anybody was confused, I'm sorry. And y'all gotta get on me sometimes, because sometimes I get sidetracked and I don't keep my thoughts together on what I need to keep it on. And it's good to have people kind of make comments and talk to me, and it kind of gives me a platform to work on. But hey, for those of you that's been watching my channel, following my channel, sharing my videos, things like that. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It's fun to watch it grow. It's fun to talk to people, and you know, I don't know everything. I'm not a know-it-all, but if I can teach somebody else that maybe don't know as much as I do and get them going, you know, they might find more education somewhere else, but you know, it's nice, it's rewarding to know that, hey, I got them into it, or you know, I got them past that hurdle of, you know, I don't know if I want to do this or tackle this, or maybe it's too hard, or it ain't too hard. It's fun, it's easy, really, if you don't overwhelm yourself. It can be hard, but it's up to you to how hard you want to make it. But all right, I'm gonna get off here, and thanks everybody for watching my channel, and please take time to like the videos, and please share my videos because it really helps. I like to get my numbers up there. I would like to grow, and I don't know how quick I'll grow. It has grown a little bit, but every little bit helps. All right, guys. Thank y'all. Goodbye.